I can't believe these CBC awards. I mean, so many of my friends are finalists. I'm really happy for them. I mean, it would be nice if I was there with them, but it's not like they give an award to channels hardly anybody's watching.
Best Unknown Channel.
Welcome to Haul Yeah Comics. My name is Nate, and I have issues. And today's issue is definitely community. I'm going to show off some books here in just a little bit for the Friday Comic Book Challenge, but before I get to that, I have to talk about the CBC Awards. They were held a few days ago on Friday, and I'm a finalist for Best Unknown Channel. I'm honestly flabbergasted at this. I'm floored. I'm in disbelief because, yeah, I wanted this. I mean, of course, who wouldn't? If you've got a YouTube channel, you want to be recognized. But I didn't think it was like really a possibility. My channel is not very old. I just started this like 5 months ago, I think. And I mean, my first video was public. I really published my first video on April 20th, 4/20. I guess I know what we'll do for the 1-year anniversary. Smoke weed every day. So my channel's not that old. And I haven't been doing it that long, and I just didn't think that, this was my time or whatever. I'm beyond grateful. I can't believe that people thought enough of me to nominate me. In the short time I've been doing this, I've been beyond lucky with the people who have invited me onto their channels and the people who've been willing to come and talk to me on my channel. It's just been like the best time. And you hear it from every comic book YouTuber, like how great the comic book community is, but it's because that's the truth. Like, it really is. No one that I've ever reached out to has been like real self-important and stayed away. Everybody's always been kind. And it just really is a group of people that have a love for this hobby, and we enjoy talking about it so much that, enlarging the circle of people that we have to talk about it with is really the end goal. And the fact that, my channel has really continued to grow at a nice and steady rate, and it's like, it makes you feel good. I feel good. And so I just want to tell you, I appreciate it so much. I appreciate everybody who nominated me, and I hope you'll check out the other channels and the other awards, and I hope in the end you'll vote for me, because yeah, I want to win. One person I definitely have to shout out is Brian LCS. Brian is the one who put this whole thing together, the Comic Book Community Awards, the live stream, which is linked below. You need to watch it. It was like slick. He had titles and intros and music, and it was not like just somebody sitting there reading some things off. It was thought out and produced, and that took time and effort on his part. And everybody who's involved, and everybody who's nominated, and everybody who's a finalist, I mean, we should all be very grateful, and I think we are. So Brian, thank you for everything I know the amount of work it must have taken for you to put this together. It is greatly appreciated. And in addition to being in charge of the CBC Awards, Brian also has his own channel, which you should check out. On Sundays, he hosts a live stream in the mornings called Breakfast with Brian, which is just a really nice way to like hang out with a bunch of people from the community and chat, drink a cup of coffee, and talk about comic books and the news of the week before the weekend is over and we all have to go back to the real world and our real jobs. Brian also just posts, random videos of trips of him going to comic book shops and shows and the hauls that he buys there. He is just in general a really nice guy, and he's put a lot into this, and it's greatly appreciated. There's a couple more people I just want to shout out before I stop talking about this, and these are some friends of mine who are all nominated for awards, and I want to make sure that you check them out. When you go to the voting link below and you see these other channels and these other awards, these guys are worthy of your vote. Give their videos a watch, and I think you'll agree. So first up is the first person who invited me on his channel, and that's Ricky from All Sorts of Words. Ricky is he is the smartest person in the hobby that I can think of, and he's one of the funniest people in the hobby that I can think of. When he invited me to stream with him, I had literally 12 subscribers, and 6 of those were friends and family that I had forced to watch my nonsense. So the fact that he was still willing to take somebody who was literally just starting. I mean, my channel had just launched. There was every possibility that I would crash and burn. But, he rolled the dice on me and said, no, come on and let's talk. And I had a blast. And it's through him that I met a bunch of other people. Brandon from Mon Comics, he's nominated for 2 different awards, and you should definitely check him out, and he's worthy of your vote as well. And then Hagen from Lettuce Comics, he's nominated for Best New Channel. Also, nominated for Best New Channel is another friend of mine, David, from Still Only 35 Cents, and I don't know how to tell you to vote on that one. You're going to have to figure it out for yourself. So then another channel is Alan, the Comic Collector Geek. He's nominated in a few categories, and he is definitely worthy of your vote. I've been invited to hang out on his Friday night live streams a few times, and it's always been a blast to hang out with him and Steven and just show off and talk about books. Alan is, his collection is absolutely insane, and I think when you watch his videos and you see the wall behind him, you'll completely agree. Like I said, I haven't been doing this very long, and I didn't even know about the Comic Book Community Awards. I learned about him when Matt from Matt Likes Comics let me know that he had nominated me. And so then when and Matt, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. I definitely returned the favor, and it was not because, a tit for tat kind of thing. Tit. It wasn't. It was because I really enjoy your content, and Matt actually just hit a big milestone. He got his 222nd subscriber. He's doing a giveaway on his channel right now. You should go check it out. There's a lot of links below you're going to need to go check out. So when I found out about, the awards, and then you would check the list, and the list just kept growing. It was so long. I don't know how many channels ended up being nominated. I actually would like to know, because I didn't know there were this many channels talking about comic books. I think my favorite thing about the awards so far is how many new channels I've discovered to check out. That nomination list, you would scroll and scroll and scroll, and the channels would just keep rolling past you. And now they've got their categories narrowed down, and there are 5 finalists for each category, and I'm a finalist for Best Unknown Channel. And I think that's kind of insane. Not because I'm unknown, I get that, but it's because of how many people I do know because of starting this channel. And, if this is being unknown, if this circle of people that I've discovered is being unknown, then I can't imagine what it would be like to be one of these bigger channels. The friends that I've got, how do they have the time to do it all? I really appreciate it. I hope you'll check the awards out, and I hope that I can get your vote. So thank you so much. Now, you know what? Let's look at some comic books. So a while back, Alan the Comic Collector Geek used to do these Friday challenges where he would come up with a theme, and then people in the community could use the tag that he gave, and you would share your books that fit the theme. It's actually a really cool way to engage things, and I think it dropped off. And so another really good friend of mine, David, Garage Geek, and a friend of his, Mr. E, the Low Grade Collector, they're kind of collaborating now with Alan, and they're wanting to revive this. So last Friday is the first time that I've seen it come back around, and this one, because we've got 3 channels working together, is the Trio Challenge. So you go looking for books in your collection that have trios on it. And, I like that it, obviously that could mean 3 superheroes together, but also, I think you could get creative with it. I didn't, but I'm going to show you some books that I found in my collection that had trios, and it was surprisingly easy. As I just flipped through different runs, I could find books with 3 people or 3 villains or 3 whatever. And so these are the ones that I want to share with you today. First up, I'm going to start with a Marvel book, because I'm always been kind of more of a DC guy. So I want to throw something out there. This is X-Men number 4. This is the first appearance of Omega Red, and this cover has the trio of Wolverine, Gambit, and Jubilee on it. Next up, a personal favorite of mine, Simpsons Comics from Bongo Comics, and this trio here is 3 great characters. We've got Homer, comic book guy, and Clancy Wiggum, the chief of police. I like the fact that this one has comic book guy on it, and that you can see his shop, the Android's Dungeon, in the background. I don't know if there's a greater trio in science fiction or not. I absolutely love this cover. The art on this really captures the likenesses of the characters. We've got Captain Kirk, Spock, and Bones on Star Trek issue number 16, World Singer. This is actually written by J. Michael Straczynski. But what a great trio on the cover here. If you've watched my channel at all, you know one of my favorite characters is the Tick, And it was actually kind of hard to find a Tick trio cover, but this one I did manage. So here's the Tick and Arthur, along with Paul the Samurai. This is from Tick, issue number 5. In Green Lantern issue number 13, we have two of my favorite Green Lanterns and Hal Jordan. I'm sorry, I just don't find Hal to be a very, even though I love Green Lantern and I have a lot of Hal Jordan books, I don't find him to be as dynamic of a character. I find the characters of Guy Gardner and John Stewart much more engaging and interesting. But I do think this is a good cover. Impulse issue 57 is not only a trio, but it's also a Christmas cover, and I do love me a good Christmas issue. So this one has Impulse, Mr. Mxyzptlk, and Plastic Man, which is like the most random trio I think I could come up with for DC. So this one is just a hoot. In Justice League issue 5, we have the trio of Guy Gardner, Captain Marvel, Shazam, and the Martian Manhunter. They're holding Guy Gardner back. Guy Gardner and Batman, this is the famous Bwahaha one punch Batman taking Guy Gardner out. I can literally hear my friend Chubbs groaning in the background that I'm bringing this up yet again, because this is one of those moments in comics that I just always love to reminisce about. The one punch, it's just amazing. And I'm not the only one who likes the Batman One Punch Guy Gardner, because they kind of did an homage to it in Justice League Europe issue 11. In this one, we've got Animal Man and Rocket Red holding up Guy Gardner. And in this one, Guy gets his head caved in by Metamorpho, this was actually a really good and kind of bittersweet little issue where Metamorpho had a child that had his powers, his mutation, and it was very difficult for them to control it, and his father-in-law was doing everything he could to keep Rex away, Metamorpho away from the baby, and so he hired Guy Gardner as security, and there was just no one gonna stop Metamorpho from seeing his baby, and he just wails on Guy to get in there. And in the end, like I said, it was kind of a sad ending, but this was a really good book and a really good run. Next up, I got some Silver Age DC. I've got Flash issue number 173. This has the trio of Flashes on it. It's got Jay Garrick, the Golden Age Flash. It's got Barry Allen, the Silver Age Flash, and then Wally West here as Kid Flash, the sidekick, but we all know that he grows up and takes on the mantle of his mentor, and he becomes the Flash as well. This is a book that I've had since I was a kid, and it's a really important one for my collection. Up next, I got another sad cover. This is Superboy issue number 109, and this is the trio of Superboy and Krypto, and then Superboy's new dog, Swifty. If you look, Superboy's gone off to play with his new pet, and he leaves Krypto chained up, but of course Krypto has superpowers, so he's got Krypto chained up with a kryptonite chain. That's so mean. I feel so bad for Krypto. And could you really have a trio without some Lois Lane love triangles? I mean, this cover here has the trio of Lois, Superman, and a Superman dummy that Lois is lashing with a whip. This was a weird story, but it was a fun story to read. And then last, I'm going to end with my favorite Lois Lane love triangle of all. It's Lois Lane issue number 54. It's Lois, Superman, and Herco. I know Matt from Matt Likes Comics and I love to throw that Bring Back Herco hashtag into a lot of our videos, and this is where it all started. So Herco is a weird creature from another dimension that falls in love with Lois, and he appears one more time, actually. I did find out he appears one more time, and I did get that issue, and I can't wait to talk about it. But this is the one that kind of started it all for all the Silver Age silly Lois Lane love stories that I just cannot get enough of right now. So those were some books I found for the Friday Night Challenge, the trio covers, and that was actually really fun to have that kind of criteria to go dig through my collection. And I know I've shown some of those books before, but some of them were books that also I don't know that I would have had a reason to show otherwise. So I'm really glad that's come back. So thank you to Alan and David and Mr. E, the Low Grade King, for kind of organizing to make this part of our community, breathe new life into it. Please give this video a like and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Please check out the links to the CBC, the Comic Book Community Awards. There are a lot of great channels that I had never heard of before, and I think you should check them out. I still think you should vote for me and my friends, but I think there are a lot of YouTubers out there that are worth watching. So I appreciate you being here so much. Thank you for the support. Still, again, one more time, my mind is blown. I can't believe that I'm up for this award. I appreciate it so much. So thank you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.